On our dashboard, you notice that we have a +1 for an audience, and this is simply us. This is the email that I use to sign up for MailChimp. So I am my first subscriber, which is a good thing. Now, email marketing and email newsletters in general centers around lists, and lists are the collection of email addresses that you've acquired through one way or another. And we will go through that in the coming lessons as well. You can have different lists. For instance, imagine that you have a business that offers 3 different services. People who have subscribed to an email list for one of the services probably may not be interested in the other 2 services. So you want to start to separate your lists. And here we are entering into segmentation, dividing the people who have provided you with their email into the proper buckets, into the proper categories of interests. Because if you start to send people emails that are not relevant to them, that's when you immediately get people who start to unsubscribe. So this is why you want to start to segment, and this is why you want to have different lists. So we're going to focus on a list in this particular lesson and go over exactly what a list is and setting up your first list. What we're going to do here is review the list that MailChimp has created for us based on the information that we entered when we were setting up our account. Let's go to that. So I'm going to go up top here and click on lists. And once the lists page loads, you'll see that we already have a list based on the name that we had entered when we initially signed up for the account. Now we can go forward and create a new list, and we'll definitely do that because, for instance, imagine with the online courses, there are different courses that we offer. And so a customer who is interested in one course may not be interested in the other courses. So I want to make sure that when I send an email, that it goes to the right and relevant audience who's actually interested in that course. And so for each of the different courses that I may have, or for instance with you, for each of the different businesses that you may have, you certainly want to separate those lists and separate those people into the appropriate categories of interest. But let's firstly review a list. So this is a list here. This is a list of my particular business, the Sambuno Online Education. And for you, you'll have a different name here based on your business. But initially what we see, we have 1 subscriber, and that subscriber is me. We have a 0% open rate because I haven't really sent any email, so there hasn't been any opportunities for people to open it. And there is a 0% click rate, and that means that no one has clicked on the email because I haven't sent an email yet. Now in the future, when we start to send emails, you'll see that these numbers will increase. Let's go into the list itself by clicking on the name. Now, when we click on the name, we see a different screen. We have the stats, manage contacts, add contacts, sign up forms, and settings. And here we will have a list of our subscribers. And it can be something as simple as simply an email, which is perhaps in many occasions all that you need, or you may collect more information like their name, address, phone number, birthday, and so forth. The more information you collect, the better you can segment and target and send relevant information to them. For instance, if you have customers who have birthdays on certain days, you can automatically set it so that your email system sends them an email on their birthday. So this is where information becomes important, and you can probably understand why this will be important. Because for instance, if you send your email list a birthday thank you or a birthday email on their birthday, it's quite memorable. It's going to create a relationship right then and there. And you've probably gotten emails on your birthday, and so you know how it feels. So the more information you have, the better you can provide relevant information and relevant content to your audience. Let's create a list from the beginning. So what we'll do here is create list. We'll click on this. So we'll click on create list. And when we click on create list, here's what we have. Simply a screen that provides us the fields for us to put in the information that we need to put in. So here we're going to enter the list name. So you want to think of the particular service, business, or objective that you are aiming for, and apply that as the name for the list. So for this one, I'm going to call the first list. And for the default from email address, this is the address people will reply to. So when they receive an email and they click reply, this is the email that it will come to. So here I'm going to put info@sambuno.com. Next, we move on to the default from name. So here I'll put Sambuno. And here we want to remind people how they sign up onto our list. I will put something like, you subscribed to our list from our website. And that's it. The contact information for the list will always be displayed so that we are in compliance with the Spam Act. And the Spam Act is just a law that states that we shouldn't be sending spam. And when people supply us with their information, those are the only people who we can send emails to. Form settings. Now, here are some options that we definitely want to revisit and review. So with form settings, let's go through them here. Enable double opt-in. So when someone signs up for your list or subscribes to your list on your website, you can just accept it. However, in order to make sure that that person actually had the intention of signing up for the list or subscribing to your website, you certainly want to enable the double opt-in. Because what happens is that once they sign up for your email newsletter, then immediately they'll get an email to their email confirming their sign up, and they will then click, yes, I agree to sign up to this email list. And that's what we mean by enable double opt-in. It just ensures that there was intention and that somebody didn't just enter somebody else's email into your newsletter. And you definitely want this because, again, it goes back to intention. You want people who are actually interested in the products or services that you have to offer to actually sign up for your email so that the information you send will be relevant to them. So here we'll click enable double opt-in. The GDPR fields. The GDPR is a rule that was really set up by the EU, the European government, regarding spam. And unless you are dealing with people in the EU, you don't have to worry about this so much. This is really only applicable to people in the EU. So if your business primarily deals with people in the States, then you can leave this off. However, if your business may engage with people in the EU, then you certainly want to click this here. Notifications. So here we are now able to get reports when people sign up for our list or unsubscribe from our list. So people can either subscribe or unsubscribe. And while I'm talking, I say sign up, and sign up is the same as subscribe. So here I generally like to get a daily summary, a one by one, and a one by one. So here we'll click save. So this is our first list, and here we have the stats, we have the manage contacts, add contacts, sign up forms, and settings. And now we have two lists in total. We have the initial one, the Sambuno Online Education, and then we also have the first list. So we've just created our first email list. The next step and the next lesson is, how are we going to create the forms that we put on our website in order to get people to give us their emails? So we'll go through that in the next lesson.